We're going to be focusing on some Qigong movements to really open up the rib cage, get the spine mobilized so that we can breathe efficiently and effortlessly. So let's start standing. And we'll pop one hand on your lower abdomen, another hand on your sternum. So we're just below the belly button. In Qigong, this area here is called the lower dantian, between the front of the body and the back of the body. So just below the belly button, seen as your physical energy center. And just breathe naturally in and out through the nose. And just pay attention to the reaction or the response here in the lower dantian, in the lower abdomen, as you breathe in. And also here in at the sternum, the chest area. And soften the area here, the lower belly, a little bit more. See if you can just soften the hips, soften the belly. So as your natural breath comes in, you feel a response of the belly just coming out a little bit. And then as you breathe out, belly just moves back towards the spine. Just soften the belly. Follow a few more breaths. Softening the belly, softening the hips. And now bring your attention here to the sternum, to the chest, to the heart center. And as you breathe in, natural breath in, notice how this area responds to the breath in. As you breathe in, there's a very subtle expansion. So the rib cage is like elastic. It expands as you breathe in, and it relaxes as you breathe out. It contracts, it softens as you breathe out. Quite often we hold a lot of tension and tightness in here in the sternum. And quite often we're focusing, or we need to breathe through the diaphragm, or we need to belly breathe, so we tighten this area here. I don't want this area to move, but you want a very subtle movement through this area. To just allow the breath to effortlessly enter the body. Follow a couple more breaths. And then let the arms rest by the side. And give yourself a little shake. So just shaking the hands, shaking the shoulders. Really just letting the spine move, shake. The shoulders really relaxed. Neck relaxed. Really let the shoulders go, upper back relax. Pumping with the legs, so just keeping the heel on the ground, you're just bouncing up and down, you're pumping through the legs, using the ground, and then slow it down, slow it down. And then just relax standing for a moment. And then we'll go into a wider stance, so about a shoulder width and a half apart. Little bit of bend in the knees. We're going to do our knocking on the door of the life, but if I can say it, knocking on the door of life, but shifting the weight. So let's just start shifting the weight to start off with. So you're shifting one side, other side, and then you start to bring in the rotation, just shifting the weight. So really strong through the legs, but relaxed through the upper body. Rotating the spine, knocking the hand across the front of the body, and also as you're going from the back, just knocking the hand, back of the hand on the back of the body. If this is a challenge, if there's any pain or anything in the hip, then you can just come up to our normal shoulder width apart knocking. So again, with any of these movements, it shouldn't be forced, it shouldn't be stressful, it's just easy movement. But if this is comfortable for you, then we can go on this nice wide stance. It gets the legs working a little bit more, gets the energy pumping up through the ground a little bit more. And breath is just easy in and out through the nose. So I'm not breathing in any particular way. I've got my face relaxed. Nice smile on your face. Getting yourself ready for the day. And then slow it down. Slow it down. Push up through the legs, walk the feet together. And we'll do the pump. So your arms come up. You drop your, I'll show you in slow motion, arms come up, I'll show you from the side too. You drop arms down, you bend the knees. As the arms go back behind you, you extend the knees, then you come back up. So it's that little double bounce at the bottom. So it's called a pump again because we're using the legs to drive upper body. Upper body is nice and relaxed. Arms are just swinging. Keep that going, keep the rhythm going. Breathing in as you come up. Breathe in and then breathe out. But just allow the breath to be natural again, so we're not forcing or pushing the breath. Really opening up the space in the lungs, in the rib cage. Good for the back. Strengthening the legs. Let's do a couple more. and then slow it down. Just take a moment just to stand, palms facing forwards. See if you can feel the blood flowing, the energy flowing through the body. Connecting to the ground through the feet, through the soles of the feet, and connecting to the sky through the crown of the head. So lifting and lengthening the crown towards the sky. Step your feet back out. We'll go shoulder width apart. Let's go back to our hand on the lower abdomen, hand on the chest. So this time we'll do the same as that we did to start with, but this time taking a fuller breath in. So we're actually increasing the volume of air that we're taking in so that we can expand a little bit more. So we can expand the belly, we can expand the ribs, and then we can expand the chest in that sequence. When we are taking a greater volume of air in, we're slowing the breath down. So we don't want to do it really quickly because otherwise we end up hyperventilating. So we're just slowing the breath so that we don't over breathe. So hand on the lower abdomen. Focus first on belly, then ribs, then chest. So you feel that expansion in the chest, and then you can soften the chest. Chest, ribs, belly. And again, belly, ribs, chest, and then breathe out, chest, ribs, belly. Again, belly, ribs, chest. Breathe out, chest, ribs, belly. It's actually the spine that's waving. So as you're breathing in, spine is waving. So you're lifting, extending, ribs, chest, and then chest, ribs, belly. So you're extending and lifting and lengthening the spine as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, softening and relaxing the chest. Follow a couple more breaths, slow and full, slow and full. Now notice, even though we're going slow and full, I'm not pulling breath in. So I'm not pulling everything up here. So keep the shoulders and the neck relaxed. And then rest there. This is quite a challenging exercise, and I notice myself when I'm doing this is other things can sort of kick in, because you sort of like want to, if I'm breathing in fuller, I want to start really overusing my neck muscles. But just take it really, really slowly and keep it as relaxed as possible. So what I've found, and I think we've mentioned it before, is when you get to the top and you feel the chest expanding, you almost want to tighten up here. But if you just give yourself that little nod and bring the head to balance on top of the spine, it almost relaxes these neck muscles a little bit. Now, of course, everybody's going to be different because everybody maybe holds tension in different places, but that's what I find. It's almost like I get to the top, and then if I just give that little nod, it relaxes my shoulders and my neck muscles. The other thing to remember with that little practice is that we're talking about breathing into the belly, but of course the breath goes in through the nose first. So you can't just breathe directly into the belly. It's got to go down. And of course you're not actually physically breathing air into the belly. It's the response as the rib cage expands to what happens down here in the lower abdomen. And you just want to relax that area a little bit if you can, or soften that area a little bit, because we tend to hold a lot of tension down here and a lot of tension up here and a lot of tension up here. Then we try and belly breathe and it all gets very restricted. Right, let's go feet width, shoulder width apart again. Let's do some movement, arm movement. Bringing palms up, facing up. We'll work on the mechanics first. Bringing the arms so the palms are facing chest height. Then we spiral the arms and then we just push up. So we're holding up and then we come back down through the same movement. This Qigong movement is called Buddha holds up the earth. So you're lifting and holding up above the head and then coming back down. And the idea of any flow movement is that it's effortless, is that you're not actually trying to do the movement. And this is why when you spend more time just doing one simple flow exercise, it can become very meditative. But just to start off with, the first point that we want to focus on is just what is the physical movement. So just get that physical movement working. The other thing is that it's not just an arm movement either, because if you notice, you may find as you come down, you get that little bit of wave breathing going on again. So you get in, spine is then extending and opening up. And then as you come back down, you get that softness, relaxation in the chest. Again, extending and opening up. You can look up towards the sky, to the ceiling. And you may notice a little bit of weight shift through the feet. Again, this is just all stuff just to check in with. Just to notice. And the more you do it, the more you will notice the subtleties of the movement. Two more, just focusing on the physical movement. The arm spiral. The subtle weight shift. That spine extending. And then rib cage softening. And then just take a moment again just to stand. Step back out. Same movement, but this time we'll focus on the breath. So let's start the movement. Nice, slow, smooth movement. So we've all nailed the movement now. Breathing now just gently in through the nose. A little bit of pause at the top. Breathing out through the nose. Again, the breath is quiet, it's soft, it's effortless. Just gentle breath in. Breath out. Two more, just following, focusing the breath. Breath in. Rest there. When you're practicing these flow movements, it's very much about relaxation. It's very much about bringing breath into the body to energize the body through relaxation. So it shouldn't be an effort. And again, the breath shouldn't be an effort. In fact, you can think, actually, how little air do I need? I'm not pulling air into my body. And go at your own comfortable pace with this, but the movement should be smooth, it should be slow, and the slower you can go, the better. But what we don't want to do is to create any air hunger, so you don't want to be feeling out of breath. That's not the purpose of this particular practice. And you don't want to be struggling with the breath. So if breathing out is a real challenge, if this is too slow, then just go a little bit quicker. But the key is to keep it smooth. And then the more you do it, the smoother you'll get it, the more fluid you'll get the movement, and the easier the breath will be with that. The other thing to think of also is notice what you're doing from a physical point of view is when you're raising the arms up, you're expanding, you're opening the rib cage. So you're creating more space for the breath to come into the body naturally. So it's great to do this movement with that simple breath practice. Breathing in, slight pause at the top, breathing out, slight pause at the bottom if that's comfortable. Let's do that one more time. I want to spend a little bit more time, rather than going through lots of different movements, just really focusing on a couple of simple Qigong movements that really encourage smooth, easy, effortless breathing. So balance, breath in, breath out, breath in, bring the focus to that wave breathing. So see if you can notice belly, ribs, chest, chest, ribs, belly. So soften belly, open up the chest, and then soften chest. Let's do 4 more in silence. and then just rest. Next move, and we'll just focus on the physical movement first. If you imagine you've got a small ball in your hands, so you've just got rounded elbows, soften elbows, and we'll just do this, we'll work on the physical of this, we'll do a little bit more work on this next week. You push one hand towards the ground and the other hand towards the sky, a little bit of a lean over so you can really breathe into the side of the ribs there. So we're just opening up the ribs, just working on that physical movement. Then you spiral the hands down the body. So I'm coming little finger both towards the chest, and then I'm extending out the other side. So other hand, little bit of lean over. A little bit of bend in the knees. You can use the legs. You can use the legs to open up. If I'm mirroring you, that's the left side of the rib cage. A little bit of bend in the knees. Pump the legs again. You're opening up the right side of the rib cage. Open up the rib cage there. A little bit of bend. If we coordinate the breath, you're breathing in, and you can breathe into the side of the rib cage there, really expanding the rib cage. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let's do one more each side. And then just bring the arms up over, just pulling down the sky just to finish off. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hands on your lower dantian. Bring the feet together. Just give yourself a moment to let the body do whatever it feels it needs to do. Bring itself back to balance. You can close your eyes if you're comfortable with closing your eyes. And then take a full breath in through the nose. As you do, you can open your eyes, step out, have a little stretch if you need that. However you feel you want to stretch. A little shake if you want to have a little shake. And we will finish there. Thank you for joining me. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to do that. I'm going to focus on one particular Qigong move just to really get that working for you, so you can spend some time just really finding your flow with that. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the breathwork sessions over the next few weeks. We have a lunch and learn this coming Friday as well, just to let you know, with Tom Heron, who is an Oxygen Advantage coach, who's done a lot of work with trauma. So I'll pop a link at the bottom of here on Facebook and YouTube, and if you're on the email list, you'll get details of that coming through as well to sign up. It's a free lunch and learn this coming Friday at 1 p.m. Thank you for joining me, as I say. Thank you for your time and attention, and I will see you all hopefully on Thursday when we'll do a little bit more movement. Have a great day. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.